Here's the stuff I picked to use after reading up on, what you should use. This has a moly in it. It's 4CV joint, so it says it's high pressure, high temperature. So that's what I found at O'Reilly's when I was there. And you're supposed to use 16 grams or 20 cc's, which is this. I just weighed it on my kitchen scale. Don't tell my wife. And this pile for reference. Here's what it looks like with a quarter. In case you're just going to guesstimate. That's what it looks like anyways. So that grease is for the spline on the final gear drive, which is right here. So this is the breather hole. It's supposed to keep that up if you don't want to dump oil all over, so I'm going to try to do that. So here's the spline deal right there. So I'm going to try and clean that up then and pack that grease on there. In case you thought it would be fun to see me do this, I figured I would put it on camera. I cleaned it up as good as I could, and then I wiped my hands off good in case there was any gravel or anything from laying on the driveway here. Definitely wouldn't want that in there. So I didn't scrub my hands obviously, but I wiped them off with a towel as good as I could. I don't know that I'm going to use the entire prescribed 16 grams of grease here, because that to me definitely looks like enough grease on that. Then I'm going to add some. I also wiped up where that thing goes in, which is right in here. So I'm going to glop that full of grease too. Alright, there it goes. So the spring does hold it up a little bit, but maybe if I can get this started. There it goes. Hey, maybe righty tighty, lefty loosey. Pay a little attention here. It almost seems like I don't do this sort of work for a living. Which I don't, I guess. I turn a wrench for a living, but not on vehicles, on industrial equipment. There it goes. All right. And I cleaned the axle off and put a thin layer of lube on that. Slide that back in there. Whoops. Push the wheel back off. Okay, there we go. Alright, just need a little hand hammering action. I feel like I'm forgetting something here, but who knows. That went there, I believe. Then the brake caliper goes on. Alright. There's that. Alright, something's off here. I think I had the wheel up on the board. I just kind of had to get down into where the camera was. I would have been in the way, so once I was down here I could see right up in here along the brake pads, and they just weren't slid down over the disc all the way. And the fact that trailing arm or whatever that piece is there, that was just pushed up a little bit from when I moved the caliper up out of the way, so it kind of threw me off a little bit, but it's lined up pretty decent now. Not quite lining up. Alright, looks like I need to lift the wheel a little bit. Looks like it needs to be twisted, but I don't feel like it's going to do that. And lifting on it doesn't seem to be helping much. Since I had tightened down that final gear drive, you know, it has a little slop in it. So this might be in the manual. I didn't see it in there, but I loosened those 4 bolts just enough to give it some movement. And now I can move the tire a little bit. You can see that. So there. So the axle just went right through then. So yeah, I guess you want to get the axle through and so it's lined up, and then you can tighten those 4 bolts down on the final gear drive. So those are tightened down. I'm going to get this bolt back in here now. That would be this guy right here. I'm going to get the torque wrench and put 80 foot-pounds on it. Yeah, the backside wants to turn. Oh, wrench that on there. Alright, there we go. There's 80. Alright. Now I got to line up one of the cotter pin holes. Looks like one's already lined up. That worked out well. Where is it? Yeah, there it goes. Yep, I just don't feel very good about that. It would seem to make more sense for it to go in from the top. That way if that piece broke off for some reason, it would tend to stay together rather than fall apart. And I like it when my motorcycle stays together. It's always a bonus. Let's try that one more time. Alright. That's better. So I'm just working on prying the wheel back up to get that hole lined up again. I got one board in there now. I'm going to pry it a little bit more. Alright, that's 2 2-bys. That's pretty dang close. Let's see if it'll slide through there at this point. Alright. Alright, I got a 17 there. The other side's 19 millimeter. I think I used 3/4 last time. Yeah, I think I actually used a wrench when I took it apart. But we'll see if I can get this to work.
That's pretty tight.
Alright, so one last thing I think that might be important to do is to take this broken can of brake cleaner and just kind of wipe the rotor down, because I'm sure I got some greasy handprints on there, and that's no good on a brake rotor. Alright, that's probably good enough. Alright, new tire. The old one was done for. She is flat. Concave even. Yeah, that was probably getting a little dangerous there. Maybe a little farther than I should have taken it. All seems to have worked out. I did some hard brake checking, and it's brand new, so it skidded a couple of times, but the brakes seem to work good. Everything feels smooth on acceleration. Everything feels smooth when you're on neutral, just rolling. So I believe I got everything tightened down. Kind of glad I did the harder of the two tires first. Kind of a downhill battle now. Got to do the front tire. So I don't know if I'll make another video on the front, but there you go. Success. Time for a beer. Anyhow, have a good one.